this video, I'm really excited to show you around the city of Tokyo in Japan. This was my first time visiting Tokyo, and after living in China for more than 6 years, it was pretty exciting to see a lot of the differences and similarities between the two countries. In this video, we're going to see some of the peaceful temples and parks. We're going to see the crazy, vibrant nightlife, accommodation, the food, and we're going to just see what everyday life is like in Tokyo. Leave a comment, let me know what you think, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Before we visit some of the more beautiful and exciting places in the city, we're going to begin with the public transport systems. As soon as I arrived in Tokyo from Shanghai, I realized that the train and metro were going to be a little bit more difficult to use than I expected. Where I live in China, most of the subway systems are underground, whereas in Tokyo, it was really cool to see that a lot of the trains and metros come above ground. There's a lot of level crossings and the trains pass really close to you and the buildings. It's noisy, but it's really exciting. In China, most payments are made using QR codes, so I just use my phone to pay for everything. I haven't handled cash for a long time. When I came to Japan, it was really cool to handle the money again, but it does take a little bit of getting used to having pockets full of coins and trying to figure out the different currency. Chinese cities are full of big, tall apartment blocks. In Tokyo, things were very different. People live in small apartment blocks that are only a few stories tall, or even in houses, right in the center of the city. This means that the city spreads out over a much wider area, and visually, it looks very different from China. It was really cool to see that, just like in China, people love the outdoors. There's a lot of greenery in Tokyo and a lot of beautiful parks for people to sit around and relax. People also seem to love to play football here, a lot more than they do in China. I arrived into Tokyo on National Cultural Day. This is a national holiday where people celebrate their culture. There are a lot of interesting events taking place, a lot of cuddly bears, as you might expect in Tokyo, and it was just really interesting to see people coming together in public places and all sorts of interesting, unusual things taking place. While we enjoy some of these National Culture Day celebrations, I'm going to talk a little bit about the differences and similarities between celebrations and national days in China and Japan. There are a lot of similarities, but the cultures and celebrations are quite different, even though a lot of the values are shared. In China, people celebrate Lunar New Year. This is called the Spring Festival and is the most important holiday in China. Families reunite, many people have weeks off work, there are firecrackers and elaborate feasts. In Japan, they celebrate New Year, Shogatsu, on January the 1st. This is according to the Gregorian calendar. People visit shrines, eat special New Year dishes, and send New Year's postcards to each other. In the middle of autumn, both Japan and China have a festival. In China, people make and share mooncakes, which they eat with their friends and family. In Japan, there is a Japanese moon viewing festival. This focuses on the simplicity and admiration of nature. People decorate with pampas grass and eat dango while gazing at the moon. Both China and Japan have Children's Days. In China, they celebrate it on the 1st of June. It's a national holiday where children receive gifts and enjoy special events and performances. In Japan, it's celebrated on May the 5th as a part of their National Golden Week. This day is marked by flying carp-shaped kites to represent strength and success for children. The care guardian deities of children with these really beautiful statues with little red hats on them to keep them warm. This was a really moving and beautiful place to visit.
よろしければ記念撮影お願いします。
In Tokyo, I really love the small community restaurants where there's one long bar and everyone sits together. What's really cool about eating in these restaurants is that when you go inside, instead of, like here in China, usually you scan a QR code and you get the menu on your phone to order the food, they have these really interesting little vending machines. You choose the meal you want, you put your money into the machine and it'll give you a little token which you can hand to one of the staff, and then when the meal's ready, often cooked right in front of you, they'll hand it to you to eat. Nighttime is when Tokyo really comes to life. I thought that Chinese cities were pretty bright at nighttime, but they're absolutely nothing like Tokyo. Tokyo is unlike anywhere I've ever been. It's so bright and vibrant. Everything is right there in your face. You can get anything you want, and it's really interesting to see the clash between the peaceful and respectful culture and then all this noisy, crazy nightlife. Girls in both China and Japan like to dress up. Both countries have their own traditional clothing, and of course in Japan, girls like to dress up in anime, and China also embrace this culture and have their own similar styles of clothing. In Akihibara district of Tokyo, this is known as the Electric Town, and there are just thousands and thousands of electronics stores selling anything you could possibly want to buy. Hotel prices in Tokyo are some of the most expensive in the world. I'd recommend if you come to Tokyo, you stay in a hotel like the one that you can see in the footage now. This is a Capsule hotel. You have your own pod. There's usually some lockers, showers, and some of them even provide you with sauna, steam room, and some food for you to eat. The experience was way cheaper than a hotel and pretty comfortable too.